guys, my name is Megan and today I've got a book review for Kingdom of the Wicked for you. Alright, so let me start off by saying this is probably not going to be a glowing review. Alright, so I did not really enjoy Kingdom of the Wicked. In fact, I found this book kind of disappointing because I really wanted to love this book. I mean, it has so many good things going for it. You know, it's got some murder, it's got some demons, it's got some princes of hell, it's got witches. I really wanted to like this book, but it was so disappointing. It just kind of felt inconsistent in places and it felt flat in others. And you know, it just couldn't quite place why I didn't like it while I was reading. Now that I've had some time to actually like really think about it, I think it all comes down to like the execution of the book. It just wasn't there for me. The things that I didn't like about this book were pretty numerous as I was reading it. One of the first is that I guess the murderer within 2 paragraphs of the murder being described, where's the fun in that in a book? Like honestly. And it took almost to the very last chapter for the main character to figure out who murdered her sister, when it's fairly obvious. So that I don't think was done very well. The second thing I didn't like about this book was the pacing issues. This book would be really fast with action and everything, and then it would just slow down and there's nothing. There's nothing going on. We're literally following the main character as she's wandering the streets. And like, this book could have been pared down by maybe 80 pages or so if we had just cut out all the scenes where Amelia, the main character, is just literally wandering the streets doing nothing. And that just kind of irritated me, and it made this reading experience very not enjoyable when we weren't actually, you know, doing anything besides following this character as she does nothing. And the last thing that really bothered me was that there was no given time frame for when this book takes place. And I think that might be just a personal thing. Like, this book could have been taking place anywhere from 1850 to 1920 for all I knew. There was no given time frame except for some of the mentions of clothes and maybe some terminology for like the kitchen and the restaurant setting. Other than that, there was no time frame at all, and that was just a little irritating to me because I couldn't, you know, quite figure out the setting should have, you know, like what it should look like in my brain. And that bothered me, especially when it's a historical fantasy. So I mean, it should have a given time frame. And I know we're going to a magical world in book 2, but seriously, whole of book 1, no time frame. So now let's go into the things that I actually did like about this book. The things that I really enjoyed were the banter between the characters. I wish there was more of that, and I wish that most of this book could have been pared down to just them bantering back and forth and like doing things, like actual like action scenes of actually doing things rather than just wandering the streets, because those banter scenes were gold. Those are the only redeeming parts about this book, I think, because they were just so good, and I wish there was more of them. And that had like the perfect like enemies to lovers kind of quality going for it, and I wish there was more of that within this book, because for 370 pages of book, I don't feel like those 2 characters interacted nearly enough to give us that sense of enemies to lovers or whatever they have going on, because they got something at least. And I wish there was just more of that. So overall, Kingdom of the Wicked was disappointing and the execution just wasn't there. And I think I'm being fairly generous when I say I'm giving this 3 out of 5 stars. If you guys like this review, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already and would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!